President Donald Trump reversed a tariff threat again. More measles cases were confirmed in several states, and Southwest is ending its bags fly free policy. That's some of what we'll get to on The 7 from The Washington Post. I'm Laura Benshoff. It's Wednesday, March 12th. Let's get you caught up with today's 7 stories. Number 1. President Trump reversed a threat to double tariffs on Canadian steel. Yesterday was a pretty wild day for Trump's economic policymaking, so bear with me. First, Trump said he'd ordered the tariff on Canadian steel and aluminum to be doubled. That came after Doug Ford, the Premier of Ontario, imposed a new surcharge on Canadian electricity it sells to the U.S. But Ford levied it in response to Trump's initial 25% tariffs on all steel and aluminum imports. Those are set to take effect today. Did you get all that? Anyway, by the end of the day, the threatened new tariffs and electricity surcharge had all been walked back. Big picture, economists say Trump's new import taxes, which are taking effect, could contribute toward raising prices and further weigh down the economy. And the economic turbulence seems likely to continue this morning. New government figures are expected to show that high inflation continued into the first full month of the Trump administration. Ukraine agreed to a U.S. ceasefire proposal aimed at ending the war with Russia. That's number 2. Yesterday, U.S. and Ukrainian officials had more than 8 hours of meetings in Saudi Arabia, and it resulted in a significant deal. Kyiv endorsed a U.S. 30-day ceasefire proposal aimed at initiating an end to the 3-year war. And in return, the U.S. lifted its pause on military and intelligence support for Ukraine. The deal dramatically improved Ukraine's ability to fight the war, and it marks an improvement in U.S.-Ukraine relations after last month's blow-up between Trump and Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky at the White House. But it's far from clear whether Russia will accept the initial ceasefire terms. Number 3. The Education Department said it's cutting its staff by about half. A department official said yesterday that nearly 2,000 employees were being laid off or had accepted offers to leave voluntarily. That's a significant reduction to a department that had about 4,100 employees on the first day of the Trump administration. It's a major step towards Trump's goal of shrinking the federal government's role in education. He said he wants to eliminate the department altogether, but that's unlikely because he would need approval from Congress. Meanwhile, Trump purchased a Tesla yesterday and showed it off on the White House's South Lawn in a show of support for Elon Musk. The billionaire and Tesla CEO is facing backlash for his role in slashing government spending. Here's Trump checking out a new Tesla model.
That's beautiful. This is a different panel than I've had. Everything's computer. That's beautiful. Wow.
Critics said the spectacle stretched the bounds of what's ethical in the White House. House Republicans passed a bill that would avert a government shutdown. That's number 4. Congress has until midnight on Friday to approve legislation to extend government funding, and the House made some progress yesterday. It approved a Republican proposal that would keep the federal government running through the end of September if the Senate adopts it as well. All but one House Republican voted for the bill, which passed 217 to 213. But it will need votes from Democrats to pass the Senate. Democrats are agonizing over whether to use their leverage to get concessions from Republicans, but that risks taking the blame for a government shutdown. Number 5. An outbreak of measles is growing in Texas, and New York and California reported new cases. Measles is a highly infectious disease. It can cause a fever, cough, runny nose, watery eyes, and tiny white spots called Koplik spots, which appear on the inside of the mouth. As it progresses, some may experience a measles rash on their skin. Yesterday, health authorities in Texas said at least 223 cases of measles have been detected in the South Plains region since January. And this week, new cases were reported in Los Angeles County, California, Suffolk County, New York, and Howard County, Maryland. In Oklahoma, 2 possible cases were reported. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention warned healthcare workers and potential travelers to, quote, be vigilant ahead of spring and summer travel. Southwest is ending its trademark bags fly free policy for many customers. That's number 6. For decades, airline passengers have loved Southwest for its quirks and perks. But some of those perks are disappearing. Last year, it abandoned the open seating policy. Now it will stop offering 2 free checked bags. Yesterday, the airline said that bag charges will apply to passengers on flights on or after May 28th. People with loyalty status will still be able to check 1 or 2 bags for free, depending on their level. The airline has faced investor pressure to boost profits. But some experts said the moves could instead push flyers to book with other airlines. And at number 7, police identified a surprising probable cause of Long Island's major brush fires. Over the weekend, several fires spread through parts of Long Island, New York. They burned about 600 acres and prompted a state of emergency. But most of the blazes were under control by Sunday. Police have been investigating the cause of the fires, and on Monday, they gave an update. Apparently, the fires are believed to have been accidentally started by a resident making s'mores. Police said the resident was struggling to get a fire lit due to winds, so used cardboard to help. Then, their backyard went up in flames. The embers then traveled on the winds to start other blazes. Police didn't confirm whether or not the person was able to enjoy their s'mores. All right, you're all caught up. But before you go, a reminder that if you're a subscriber to The Washington Post, you can get access to our shows ad-free in Apple Podcasts. All you have to do is find the Washington Post channel in Apple Podcasts and connect your Post subscription. Then stay tuned for more subscriber-only audio benefits, like exclusive and early access episodes. If you're not a subscriber, this is a great time to start. You can sign up at our channel in Apple Podcasts or through the link in our show notes. I'm Laura Benshoff. We'll meet you back here tomorrow.